Speaking of Cordoba, activity number 8 in Spain is a walking tour of the city.
Sounds like a great way to explore those layers of influence.
See how different cultures shape the city over time?
It's amazing how history is about more than just kings and battles,
It's about the everyday lives of people.
and how cultures interacted and influenced each other.
Exactly.
But as we head into the late 15th and early 16th centuries, we see another big divergence.
While France is focused on Europe, Spain is looking outwards.
Across the Atlantic to a new world,
The age of exploration,
1492 is a pivotal year.
not just for Spain, but for the entire world.
The Reconquista ends with the fall of Granada,
And Christopher Columbus sets sail,
backed by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand.
a voyage that would change everything.
Was the timing of Columbus's voyage just coincidence?
Or was it connected to the end of the Reconquista?
It feels like the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another.
Historians have debated that connection.
It makes sense that the resources freed up by the end of the Reconquista could have helped Spain launch these overseas ventures.
And the spirit of conquest, after centuries of conflict, might have influenced their approach to exploration and colonization.
So two different paths.
France, building a centralized state in Europe,
Spain projecting its power across the Atlantic,
claiming vast territories in the Americas.
becoming a global power.
And those different paths had huge consequences for both nations.
Spain's wealth and power fueled a golden age.
Art, culture. Think of El Greco, Cervantes.
And if you want to experience that richness firsthand, Madrid is the place to be.
The Prado Museum, the Royal Palace.
And let's not forget about the food.
Ah, yes, the food.
The tomato, the potato, chocolate.
All brought to Europe from the Americas thanks to Spanish explorers.
Imagine enjoying patatas bravas.
Or sipping some thick, rich chocolate.
You're tasting the legacy of global exchange.
But it's important to remember that those exchanges weren't always positive.
Right, the transatlantic slave trade.
A horrific chapter in human history.
Fueled in part by Spain's colonial ambitions.
A legacy that we still grapple with today.
It's a reminder that history is complex.
It's not just heroes and villains.
It's a mix of triumph and tragedy. So as we move into the 16th and 17th centuries, we see these two powers of very different trajectories.
France consolidating in Europe, Spain expanding globally.
How did those approaches impact their internal dynamic?
Their political landscapes.
That's what we'll explore next.